I think I kind of stopped caring halfway through the split. I was tilted. We weren't really going anywhere as a team. And I kind of just gave up for a bit. And then I realized like that's not who I am. I kind of just want to keep pushing for it. And yeah, that kind of motivated me to get back.
Welcome back to the Proving Grounds. Now, most of the time, player insight can be extremely valuable in breaking down a play. But, you know, let's see if Joey and Triple can do what we do here on the broadcast. See if they can bring us the hype. So I have, for our cue time, a couple clips I have chosen. I'm going to have our lovely players be the casters for these. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the first play here for you. Joey, you're taking the reins. I need all the hype. I need all the play-by-play. No color, no analysis. I just need the hype. You're his hype man, all right? Let's go ahead and play the first clip. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. So we see Will here looking for a gank on the top side. There is a ward, though, so it doesn't look like anything should come from this. Bradley just CSing. They're going to look here on this cannon minion most likely. Oh, Armau's close for a counter gank. Maybe
he's going in.
Well, he's going
he's going in.
Bradley's just dead, it looks like. Kind of a sus pillar, not going to lie. He's going in. He's just going to beat him down. Trundle's a little bit broken here.
Oh, but Volley Bear.
Volley's here. He's got the turnaround. One more auto. Armau's got it. Oh, no, the stun. Oh no, disaster.
No.
Wow, 2-0 for 100 Thieves.
Wow, Armau hands in head as well. Just want to point out.
Bit of a tilt play there.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, incredible. This one of the first one. You got to follow that one up, all right?
All right,
I'm going to set up the second one for you real quick. All right, let's get it.
Okay, well, we have Jimmy and pushing top tower here. Nothing's really happening. I don't really know what's going on, but
sounds like a play.
Looks like Tenacity is walking up. He's kind of egoing. He's humping the Nautilus here. And nothing's happening again.
Nothing yet.
And see, this is just a really tense situation. Who's gonna pull the trigger here?
You sound like a true caster at this point.
Oh my God, Boosting gets hooked. Tenacity goes in. Boosting is out on 1 HP. How is he still alive? And oh my God, they're all on HP. No one's going down. Finally, Gwen goes down. And as we see, the fight kind of spreads out now. And wow, look at these low health bars as everyone's just exiting the fight. And the dragon is still alive here.
How do you pick it up, Joey? Go. Caster, go.
It's looking really good for TL. They have position of the zone right now. They're taking vision. Bradley's up in 20 seconds with TP.
Oh, but look at Tenacity on the flank here.
Big crocodile coming around.
They don't see him.
He's got the honey fruit.
Oh my God, he's eating fruit too.
Oh, Harry! Oh my God!
And the flash charge from Harry. But what's Tenacity coming from the backside?
From the flank! Jimmy in!
Oh, he's out on 1 HP. No, he's dead.
Wow, big play from the flank.
Oh my God, TP's coming in. We're not done yet, guys. Bradley's coming in with TP. Can he get anything done? I don't think so. And they're going to fall back to the dragon here.
Looks like it's just going to be TL's dragon.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to deny soul point from 100 Thieves. Overall, insane fight.
I like it. All right. So now you see what we have to deal with. Players are just like, all right, do we want to go in? Do we want to commit? You have to fill some time, all right? Yeah. You have to fill some time.
We've seen these
I don't even know what you guys say, honestly.
All right, Joey, you're on the table. Let's go ahead and get up the third clip here and get it.
All right, there's a little bit of a test here on the dragon area. They're looking. Looks like the little crocodile's waiting in the wing. Nothing much is going to happen from it. They're going to push them out. Looking here to take mid control. Harry, a bit of a flank here from the mid position. Looks like they're trying to fight them. It could be a contest. Good ulti from the Moonlight Vigil.
Oh.
Jimmy takes the Ari ulti. Nothing much is coming from it. Looks like they're going. Oh, he gets rooted.
Oh my God.
They're going on Harry. He looks dead. He's gone. Looks pretty good for.
Oh, but they're stuck.
Oh, look at Will. No. Look at Will. Big ulti from Yon. Splitting the fight. Oh, missed hook. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. The fight's not over, though. Looks like TL are just going to take the mid control. Everything's good. Tenacity looks like he wants a little bit more here. He pops the dominance. He's going in. Good hook from Ayla. Good ulti. And he hits two. Wow. Big ult from Armau. Jimmy's going down. Fight's getting turned. Well played from TL.
I need one of the classic casts called Decimated, Annihilate. Let's hear it, Joey. What do you got?
Decimation here from TL Yon. Great ulti, great follow-up on the fight. Insane ult from Ayla.
Oh my goodness, I appreciate y'all dealing with my craziness already. So Triple, your last up on the docket. We
Okay,
got one
last
more.
up.
Give me the hypest of hypes.
All right,
You ready
sure.
to go?
I don't even know what's coming, but
We're about to find
let's
out.
have a look.
It always starts on Harry. That's what we know.
It looks like both neutrals are down, so I don't know what possibly could happen here. But
would we
we
fight?
see Will and Busio walk into the jungle here really aggressively, and they
Ari.
aren't spotted here, but Ari is on a flank.
Oh, blue
Oh,
trinket.
and a blue trinket comes out. Charm goes down onto Will, and nothing really comes of it, but they are walking down mid lane. But watch Tenacity on this flank again.
All the flanks, every flank.
All the flank, but he is spotted too.
Oh.
Knowledge Hook, MFL popped.
Wow.
And Tenacity, oh, he's charmed. Out again. And a huge midline vigil coming out from BMFX.
Well, Harry.
But it looks like nice stopwatch from
Good flash.
Harry is going to get him out of there. And oh my God, Busio
No,
is out of 1
HP.
HP as well. Oh
He's
my
gonna
goodness. I think I am clenching as hard as anyone else is right now in this moment. How does
true
everyone
caster
keep getting out of 1 HP?
Oh,
Wow.
And the better
This-
question is, what are they even fighting over?
Hey,
I
we
wish I
ask
knew.
ourselves that question all the time. All right?
They're in their bush. All right.
Hey, thank you guys for dealing with the casting. Hey, not bad casting chops.
What'd
guys.
you rate us? 1 to 10.
Don't lie.
Not enough filler words, not enough color. I'd say about 6. I'd say about
6?
6. I need
I
some
need
of
to
those
learn
big
some.
money words. Are you guys playing Scrabble at all? You got anything like that? No?
No, I need to learn ability names. I'm
Yeah.
calling it
Yeah, that's
MFL.
all
It
I know.
sounds really
Dominance,
bad.
and that's
He's
all I
dropping
had.
Dominus, Moonlight Vigil. Like,
He's got you, man. He's got you. But I do want to go ahead and look at, I believe it was the gold graph from the last game and see how absolutely insane it was. I feel like I'm looking at an LPL gold graph at this point, but it shows the craziness that we saw throughout this third game of the series, Triple.
yeah, and I thought the game was really over after that first top gank by Will that they got 2-0. Barely got out in 2 HP, both of them. But I guess I shouldn't be so quick to draw conclusions because it kind of feels like Team Liquid's fundamentals are just better than 100s. And Team Liquid had no business getting that first Herald, which I feel like stabilized the game quite a bit. And it just goes to show, like, 100 Thieves, they're caught sleeping on the Herald, lack of fundamentals. That's, you know, where they're going to fall behind.
How are you riding that gold graph in emotions? You doing okay if you're a part of that gold graph?
I'm dizzy. If I'm 100 Thieves, I think the game's won after that 2-0, and then we lose the Herald. I'm like, what's my team doing up there? We have Renekton, and we're losing a Herald fight? That's illegal. Why are we even picking this champion if we're losing that? And then we're just losing team fight after team fight, and I'm just like, why am I Renekton, guys? I don't get it.
Yeah, literally. But, like, keep in mind, this went on for like 42 minutes. It wasn't just those two timers right there, right? And honestly, at this point, I'm starting to feel like watching the game is more stressful than playing the game because I felt more emotional than anyone in this room after that game. I felt like 100 should have won
Yep.
towards the end, but something happened.
Decision-making, execution, but also speaking of decision-making, coming head down from the draft in that game 3. I know you had a lot to say about, especially both sides, but particularly how the draft went down.
Yeah, so TL kind of drafted a comp that spikes really hard in the mid game. They had champions like MF. She's not a traditional AD carry with this build, at least. So obviously you're going to get outscaled. But on the other side, you have Renekton, notorious for not scaling. But I actually do think this game's a bit of an anomaly where Renekton gets your team through that early game to the point where your fellows can 1v9. And we kind of saw glimpses of that in the game towards the end until they threw.
Just that fateful throw.
Yeah. But yeah, essentially every second you're breathing, you're winning, in the words of RJS.
A pretty good quote.
So yeah, Renekton got them through the early game, somehow fumbled in the easy part.
Yeah. Now, I know you were talking about the bottom lane itself, right? Just give me your last little thoughts about it.
I mean, I think it's just really interesting that we just keep 1-2ing Lulu blind. We're picking Nautilus into it, and Nautilus is 3-0, free hook champion. Lulu 0-3. Even though it hasn't been that punished in lane when TL's playing the Nautilus, it's still looking like the Lulu's just not really doing what it wants to do.
Well, it's going to have to come down to potential couple games here, or maybe our last one as we are ready to send it off for game number 4.
Thank you so much, Mizell. And we're back for game 4, but we also got some guests here. Woo!
We got Emily Rand, and we got Mad Magical as well.
There they go. Just
All
hope
things.
both teams have fun. Well, I don't know if anybody's having fun after that one. That game was incredibly tense.
Super
Right?
stressful.
You know, Triple said that he was maybe a bit more stressed than any of the players, but I don't believe. Did you see all 100 Thieves members after that one? They were just sitting there.
I
Like,
mean, poor Will
do
and
you do?
BMFX looked destroyed after that.
that's so tough, right? And this is where all that experience comes from. I know we kind of look back. Ayla's one of my favorite players to talk about, if you haven't noticed by now. But when he was still playing over in Oceania, he was still looking for these opportunities to go and find these opportunities to go to Worlds, to go to MSI. And his team, when he was on order, came just short a single game multiple times from having an opportunity to play internationally. And you just need to find the experience. That's what Spawn has been saying for a long time. 100 Thieves. You know, a couple of their members have the experience, right? Busio's been on the stage before, Jimmy's been on the stage before, but most of the rest of them still haven't played on stage, and we got to see if they can bounce back.
And just getting a quick glimpse of all 10 players and their immediate reactions just going into draft, from the 100 Thieves side, everyone except for Busio seemed just serious and kind of down after the game. But Busio's the only one that has the high morale and saying, all right, guys, come on, let's bounce back. And, you know, and Busio would probably know best. When we were talking he's been here, and he knows how devastating it was to lose Game 5 against Team Liquid Academy in the spring split. I mean, when we were talking to Wixie during his time at AGT, he talked about how both he and Busio took it the hardest. They went backstage after Game 5 and they cried. And they just had a tough time, and they both acknowledged, when we come back, we need to make revenge. And even in the series victory of 100 Thieves over AoE Ginger Turmeric, Wixie expressed, no matter who wins, I hope and wish you the best in getting revenge on Team Liquid.
Now, we'll look at this as your pick a little bit in a moment, but I also want to remind players that when we saw 100 Thieves pushed to the brink by AoE Ginger Turmeric, the last amateur team that made it into Proving Grounds, it was Will that stood up. It was Will that gave the team's pep talk. And now, as they are once again facing down a match point, I mean, Will, he doesn't look to have the same kind of confidence that we were seeing from him before. I hope it's still there. This player has been having a fantastic second split of Academy. He's already made it to top 4 here in Proving Grounds. And as we look, Team Liquid Academy going back to tried and true.
I mean, you can definitely relate and empathize with Will in the emotions after the game. I mean, he played fantastic in both games 2 and 3. He completely controlled the game. He bested Armeo in multiple scenarios throughout the game. So if Will can bounce back and continue showing the form that he has been so dominantly, so well in games 2 and 3, 100 Thieves can still make a push for game 5. Sivir and Lulu being locked down here means that it is that traditional backline. Sivir and Azir, incredibly difficult to deal with when it comes to wave clear and closing out the game.
Yeah, I mean, these characters scale so well, and as you said, they have so much wave clear that Team Liquid need to effectively kill both of them in order to pick up turrets in the mid game, in the late game, and that's tough. The Volibear is going to be the answer once again from Team Liquid, and Armeo is one of the best volleyball players that we have in North America. His ability to navigate a lot of these fights, we saw just jumping on people, just going with that squeeze onto players like BMFX is what Team Liquid has relied on so many times. And now he's doing it once again. We'll see what it is that Will be able to play. He's played Trundle a couple of times. He's looked pretty darn good at it. I wonder if Team Liquid want to give it to him again.
Nope.
Nope.
Team Liquid recognizing that even in their Game 3 victory, knew how close it was and how much 100 Thieves Academy had the Game 3 in their hands to close out. And Team Liquid Academy just barely squeezing on by with that just clutch fight the way it turned out. 100 Thieves starting to target supports. They already have their bot lane locked in. It's now about pairings to work with Jan's Aphelios. And if we know anything about the history of Jan, back when he was Akinogi on the first class of 100 Thieves Next alongside Tenacity, he made a name for himself on this Aphelios. It has been taken away by BMFX games 2 and 3, and now we're gonna get to see what a taste of it will be like from Jan this time around.
He's been good at this character. He's been so good at this character throughout the entire split that we've seen him. Throughout basically his entire career. And one of his best characters over and over. But we also see the Nautilus taken away from Ayla. He's played that multiple times this series. And the Gwen being denied from Bradley as well. And so I actually expect to see a support come out once again for Ayla at this point. Something that he's been very good at has been a lot of these enchanters, but with the Lulu going over to the other side, some of the primary enchanters that he's typically paired up with this Aphelios are already taken off the table. I feel like Team Liquid need to find something very different, and it's going to be the Alistar picked up. This champion is so difficult for Sivir to deal with. You cannot spell shield the combo. You gotta spell shield the first one and instantly flash out.
For Team Liquid Academy, it is now all going to be about how well they can make picks successfully.
Yes.
Because when it comes down to AoE CC, I mean, Ayla is the only person, and it is difficult sometimes to brute force your way through what could be a powerful front line from 100 Thieves and a Zero Wall.
Okay. The Ornn comes out for Tenacity.
It's time!
It's time.
The Ornn McNuggets are being served up by your boy Milan.
Look, if team fights go for more than about 5 seconds, 100 Thieves are going to win them every time. It is so difficult for Team Liquid to actually take these front-to-back team fights. You can't go through Sivir as your damage. That is way too much. There's not a front line in the game that'll survive that. You can't punch through Ornn faster than Sivir Zero punch through your front line. And we get to see Will going back to the tried and true. It's not the Lee Sin that he's played so much throughout Proving Grounds, but it's only his second game that we're going to be seeing him on Proving Grounds on this grade. So we played it so much during the regular season. He goes Gore Drinker. You don't kill him. There's so many problems that Team Liquid are going to have to try and get through. They have to try and find the big combos. They have to burst 100 Thieves.
And Bradley throws down the gauntlet, knowing that in the take matchup, he's going to be able to, for the most part, get a handshake and being able to scale alongside Tenacity and now be a potential split push threat against 100 Thieves. In the late game, I mean, you can wave clear lanes. You can send Sivir on one lane, you can send a Zero on another. But at some point, the Fiora will be able to break through the Ornn. And that is the question now for Team Liquid Academy. Do they want to put in a lot of those early game resources like they tried to in game 3, through the bottom side of the map, through the mid lane, get Harry and Yon exploded? Or do they just wait for the late game for the split push? Because when you're staring down Azir and Sivir, that does not seem like a favorable strategy to go for.
No, you can't front to back this team fight whatsoever. You can't afford to let them get set up around the dragons. You do have to be there first. But one of the big things that they do have going for them in terms of things that favor Team Liquid, Will has no crowd control unless he goes AP Graves, right? But he has so much, he has so much less crowd control. He's not on the Tron. He has no slow. He has no pillar. He has no subjugate. He's just got to have the raw damage output that he's able to put out throughout these long periods of time. And that was one of the biggest things that was allowing Will to out jungle Armeo early on. Now Armeo is the only one with crowd control. While he might get kited a little bit, it's so much more difficult for Will to go into these lanes and find kills.
Well, this is match point for Team Liquid Academy. 100 Thieves, one game away from being knocked out of Proving Grounds, one game away for Team Liquid Academy to cement themselves forward and face off against Cloud9 Academy tomorrow. It is game 4 of the lower bracket semifinals of Proving Grounds.
And remember, so far, blue side 100% win rate is 100 Thieves who are on that side of the map this time, and they got another blind pick for Tenacity. Top lane blind picks have been winning over and over again. So, again, basic picture for this game. Team Liquid, they can't afford to take long fights. They need to go for these big bursts. We're looking at Ayla, we're looking at Harry, we're looking at Yon, all getting their burst on the same targets. You blow up BMFX, you blow up Jimmian, suddenly that team fight becomes winning. But if you don't do that, you don't have another chance. The cooldowns on Alistar are too long for him to go in yet again. He has to get everything at the same time. So Team Liquid, start looking for how Ayla and Harry are going to be looking for flanks. It's less about Bradley's flanks this time around. It's much more about the supports.
In the first few minutes of the game, Armel has the agency to look for plays. He brings enough crowd control by himself to any lane and can combo it with Alistar full combo, with Harry's charm, and look for plays, at least to burn summoner spells, even kills both mid lane and bottom lane. But if we get to the Rift Herald, if 100 Thieves Academy play the first few minutes of the game, no casualties whatsoever, and you look at powerful ultimates like Call of Forge God and Emperor's Divide that can put Team Liquid Academy behind in the 3v.
Yeah, and here we see 100 Thieves. They're going to be picking up the blue buff, taking it away from Armeo. Now Will going to go bother Armeo at the Wolves, but Armeo has already picked those up. Oh, okay, he gets it. He will be able to clear that out, move towards the top side. I was a little bit worried, but this also gives a very known path coming out from Will, right? He is going to be on the bottom side of the map, and interestingly enough, Yon and Ayla didn't get any of the opening minions. They have to have gotten the experience, but a little bit surprising to see that coming through already. They seem very worried about what Will wants to do with this early game.
And I think this is a good early game plan from the side of 100 Thieves Academy. This prevents Armeo from looking for any cheese opportunities or any early game plans to get summoner spells out of BMFX and Busio when Armeo was already on the bottom side of the map. Now, it's not going to be for about 2 minutes from now before the camp cycle and that he has a reason to be on the bottom side of the map again.
Yeah. And already we are seeing Armeo is going for a much more faster clear style of early path, right? He's picking up the Raptors, he's doing the Krugs, he's not doing the red buff so that he can get Raptors and Krugs up faster the next time around. And now he's also moving towards the top side of the map. He's expecting Will to be going towards his own jungle, and well, he does get spotted. This was a ward placed by Jimian not that long ago, and as Armeo clears it out, suddenly his route is known.
Spot on the top side of the
And with
map,
no red.
BMFX and Busio given all the safety to push aggressively under the tower. Oh, that's a lot of damage on the BMFX. Ignite already used as well, and no heal available for this lane setup. It is Ghost Flash for Sivir, something that we've seen that's super common, but Busio went for the more aggressive route instead of the defensive route. So BMFX now down on sustain, has to chug on a pot.
Nice.
Oh, good smite from Armeo, stealing away from the blue buff.
Yeah, Armeo giving a little bit of return to sender right there to Will is going to be picking up this crab, and Bradley just hops over. He's just waiting around for Will just to see if any of them overextend, but no overextensions coming out from the side of 100 Thieves. And this game, again, still not a whole lot going on just quite yet, but Team Liquid, it feels as though they have kind of won some of the opening battle. Armeo is not put behind, and it was a lot of pressure being expended by 100 Thieves right off the bat.
Armeo and Harry now making their way towards the bottom side of the map. Harry just gets a ward down, but the second respawn of those Raptors from Will. But both Scuttle Crabs have been secured by Armeo. River Vision is in their favor. And we knew that there wasn't really any strong chance that Will would look for aggressive plays. He just wants to farm up on the Graves, get himself strong before you get to that Rift Herald, that first potential fight. But now that there's been safety gained back for Jan and Ayla to push up.
They think it's safe.
BMFX and Busio trying to jump. They still have the Ignite available, and it goes right onto Ayla. Ayla has Flash away if he needs to use it. Nerves of Steel once again from the bottom lane of Team Liquid Academy. They back away despite the attempted all-in from BMFX and Busio.
But they establish a freeze. BMFX and Busio are already finding these small advantages up against Jan and Aelin as they back away. You know, Jan is sticking around. He has to hope that 100 Thieves will leave so he can try and push this wave in, but Will is already there. This feels like a successful lane gank in their own lane coming out from BMFX and Busio. And again, that feels like something Busio would be calling for, the kind of play that he would make happen, but at the same time, the general, he's here. He's not going to leave his troops out to dry. He comes down to make sure that the wave actually crashes. So we see these two teams, again, playing back and forth and not necessarily going for these fights, but just the battle over the waves is something that we haven't seen throughout a lot of Proving Grounds, but is coming all out in full force.
Ayla still has Flash. He can look for Jimmy in here. Oh, if the Charm had connected, you know that that would have easily been Ayla going in to at least burn a Flash from Jimian.
It's good stuff, right? We already saw Busio has had a lot of opportunities to roam up into the mid lane. He's had a lot of pressure in the first couple of levels. I think it was Triple who was saying, you know, Busio should go back to the mid lane. I think he's going to be there anyway with the amount of time he ends up spending around with Jimian. And so, not a whole lot coming through. We got to check the CS numbers, see how people are doing. We see a lot of bouncing back and forth up in the top lane, right? Tenacity and Bradley playing a bit of ping pong with their waves, so Tenacity will recover a lot of that. But at the same time, both junglers still maintaining a relatively even spot, whereas the bottom lane is going to be the only place where we've been threatening to see these huge leads come out.
We're at 6 minutes, Josh, so this means that Rift Herald is spawning from 2 minutes, and this is usually when teams start thinking about, okay, how are we going to set up? We go back to the 3v3 conversation for 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. Very big ultimates for Ornn and Azir when they come online. While they may not necessarily be as threatening in the first few levels of the game, those can give Will the opportunity to lay down the damage.
Yeah, but I do like Team Liquid's ability to actually take this 3v3. Not necessarily because I think their composition is, you know, more cohesive in a lot of their play, but because they have more choice as to who they're hitting. You have Bradley with the Ghost. He can lunge over that Burst Divide. You have Harry, who also has the ultimate. He can kind of ignore Jimian's as well. You can pick your targets a lot better on the side of Team Liquid. So if push comes to shove, if Ayla comes up to help the fight as well as has been tradition for Team Liquid, it feels as though they should have a little bit of an easier time actually taking these fights.
And Armeo is here. Busio and BMFX, they would want to initially get this wave shoved in so that they have time to reset. If BMFX needs to cover the mid wave while Busio goes top wave, you have the wave clear push potential. But if they overextend trying to shove in this wave, Armeo is here to punish. Ayla looks for it, and BMFX instantly flashing away, not disrespecting Ayla's attempt to look for that gank setup.
Yeah, I mean, trading Flash for about half of Ayla's health. Ayla will be able to heal this over time, so as long as nothing happens immediately, it should be a small advantage coming out for Team Liquid. But no objectives have been really fought for. Nice from Tenacity, actually, canceling the auto attack so he doesn't get stunned on the return.
But now Will is here, and Armeo has left the scene, still a little far away. Ayla still has flash available. Yon instantly flashing away, punts him back, so that Ayla does not have to use his own flash to get out of harm's way. But with Will being on the bottom side of the map, neither 100 Thieves nor Team Liquid are in position to set up for Rift Herald right off the get-go. It's just trying to make sure that both of the marksmen have burned their flashes.
So there's still opportunities. Ayla sitting real deep. There's no flash for BMFX, and Armeo's here too.
And you know the interaction between Alistar and Sivir. You cannot spell shield the combo at all. And they look for the engage. Armeo, they need the stun from Ayla, but it is Yon that comes through for first blood in match point Team Liquid Academy.
I don't know what it was Armeo stunned, but he didn't stun BMFX, but it doesn't even matter. They still pick up the first kill. There it goes over to Yon, and that's a big opportunity for them, right? They have a little bit more power. Was being traded for pressure on the top side of the map. Bradley knows he's going to go check it, but look how far away most of the Team Liquid members are. Will should be able to finish this with Tenacity and Jimmy's help before Team Liquid can respond.
Yeah, Bradley cannot move. Tenacity's trading a lot of health to make sure that he can shove the wave in and give pressure and priority over to Will. Jimmy is also here first. Harry nowhere near. So Rift Herald, as you said, traded for the life of BMFX in terms of that pressure from Armeo.
With the punch and counter punch, does Team Liquid try and go for the dragon? It doesn't look like they're going to be setting up anything just quite yet. And so far, across the board, the game remains relatively even. And in general, when I see these, I tend to feel as though it favors 100 Thieves a lot of the time, right? They have the scaling composition. You have the Sivir here. We talked about the wave clear. We talked about the damage they do. But also, you know, I had a bit of a meme, right? Between the 15 and 25 minute mark, it didn't... Oh!
Bradley, I think he still has riposte, right? Oh, guess not.
Whack.
Might not matter. Bradley still has Grand Challenge if he wants to go in for the kill here. Tenacity has flash though, and that was Bradley's ghost expended.
Such a low health lane at this point. Both of them really pushing each other. Yet again, remember, the best top laner, the second best top laner that we have. There's an argument about whether or not Bradley will be able to dethrone Tenacity, but it's not happening just quite yet as we see the dragon getting picked up by Team Liquid. As long as 100 Thieves aren't losing more than just the objectives, they should be all right in this game, right? They got the Rift Heralds for themselves. They traded some of that gold, and so as the first dragon goes over to Team Liquid, it's not a large enough lead for Team Liquid to just rest on their laurels. They need to continue trying to make plays in this mid game.
Yeah, it goes back to what we talked about during the draft phase. Team Liquid, the onus is on them to make plays and look for picks in the first 15-20 minutes of the game. If you let this game go too long, I mean, look at the scale. We already talked about the three-man core of Azir, Sivir, and Lulu being able to buff either one of them with Whimsy. Add an Ornn on top of it, and they get an extra 5k worth of stats for all 5.
Yeah, Will shows down here in the bottom lane, but it's also one of these big spots where I feel as though the gold allocation that's come out from Team Liquid onto Yon might be one of the best places you can go. I know he has been Reddit's darling as Busio might be caught.
Busio still has flash available. Armeo jumps over. Good polymorph, stops him in his tracks. And with the ignite, it's going to force Armeo back into the jungle, losing about half of his HP on the play. Harry was rotating on over, but as soon as the jungle gets chunked out, play's over.
Play's over. Going back, I feel as though Yon has been Reddit's darling, right? Every single time I check a Reddit thread about Team Liquid, there's at least one person who says, can't believe that Yon's not already playing LCS, right? The way that he's been able to play in summer by going so aggressive, going so far forward, has been a huge improvement from what he was playing in spring. Now, he's on the affiliates, and again, borrows one of my favorite phrases from Kelsey Moser. He can just Kai'Sa all over them. Gale Force forward, Moonlight Vigil, do a ton of damage all at once. You got the Collector, you can blow up one of these players. That kind of goes back into the big play.
Oh, good sidestep from Harry, making a fool out of Jimmy with the Emperor's Divine. It's ulti for ulti, trying to make that play with Will, but no dice.
No dice coming through, and you're also seeing that Will going for the Gore Drinker build once again on the Graves. He's going to be tanky, but he's not going to be doing the same kind of damage. He needs to take these long brawls over and over again. But Team Liquid, Will is still creating some space in their jungle on Armeo. He's not standing in the bush. He's now.
Armail still has flash if he gets caught out here by Will, but as you said, Will does not bring a huge upfront burst of damage the later the game goes on. This is more of a sustained build because you already have a supply, quite a supply of damage from this backline of Azir and Sivir. You just need more frontline members to tank up and force those battle lines in for your backlines.
Yeah. We see Bradley throw down the control ward. Booster not sticking around to take it out. It is interesting looking at how Jimmy has been playing, right? I'm going to touch on his build a little bit because it kind of goes back to the core win condition that Team Liquid were looking for. You blow up the Azir, you blow up the Sivir. It's a lot harder to blow him up if you got the crown of the Shattered Queen. But it's also been interesting, right? It doesn't feel as though Jimmy has had the same kind of impact on characters outside of his silence. But one of the things about this Azir that we were remarking on is it doesn't feel as though Jimmy needs to make a lot of these big plays. He just can sit back and do a ton of damage, and it's so difficult for Team Liquid to try and interact with that. So it's part of why we've seen it banned against them over and over again. As they drop the Rift Herald, Team Liquid in full response might be able to stop it. Or at least save the turret.
It's on a full 5-plate turret, so at most it's just going to give plates over to, I think it just will. I don't know if Jimmy was in range to get local gold from the plates. So this adds a little bit more into Will's pocket. We'll give him the gold to complete Core Drinker before the second dragon of the game. We're about 1 minute and 45 seconds away from it. Rift Herald will not be on the map either, so this is surely the next place where we will see either focus from Team Liquid to continue dragon stacking for the soul this game, or if 100 Thieves are going to look to contest it.
And I'm looking at Jan, I'm looking at Ayla in the next fight. They are the players who are going to be doing the bulk of the burst. If they can team up with Harry and blow up either Sivir or Azir, that's what they need to do. All right. Okay, Bradley.
Wow.
Kind of fancy.
These are some good moves. Bradley taking quite a bit of HP off of Tenacity. If you can keep him in lane before the dragon spawns, that kind of guarantees that Team Liquid will be able to have first prior over the dragon, because that's the only way that 100 Thieves can look for it. And now, look at this. Team Liquid already doing prep work for the dragon. They're burning summoner spells. They're getting HP chunks off of solo laners so that they are the ones favored to take the fight when the dragon comes around.
And with 50 seconds left, they're going to get their resets in. They're going to be back on the map. They can spend all of their gold as they come right back. And 100 Thieves are going to try and get a little bit of setup, but they don't have the teleport from Jimin anymore. They have recently used it, so he's not going to be able to spend all of his money and be there on time. Bradley, one of the only players on Team Liquid that might be a little bit late, but he's already spent most of his gold. The only thing he's missing is mana.
Bradley's just going to walk on over. I think at most, all Bradley has to do is just catch the mid wave. Not necessarily a big participant in the fight, whereas Tenacity having to catch this wave. He's going to force Bradley's hand in catching the wave at the very top of the turret, shoving in as fast as he can, go base, and be able to teleport in and look for that flank with the Call of the Forge God.
As he starts to come back towards the middle of the map, Will looking at Armail, forcing the bear to run away, but Bradley has picked up the blue buff, and now Team Liquid looking to go for this contest. If they stand on top of each other, Ayla gets a huge combo.
Tenacity is getting into range.
Oh, no.
Ayla looks for the pulverize right onto Will. Knocks him into the wall. Forces a flash. Here comes Call of the Forge God, but it only hits Armail and Jan. And Team Liquid Academy already pushing through. Armail with the flash closes the distance onto a flashless Will. The rest of 100 Thieves have to retreat. The backline is nowhere near strong enough to fight Team Liquid.
I thought that was going to be a disaster when Ayla didn't get the initial combo, but the prep work you were talking about, Mark, BMFX, even with the missed combo, had no flash. He had nowhere to go. And Team Liquid, they find another dragon. They can also move towards the top side of the map and pick up the Rift Herald. Suddenly, Team Liquid blowing open this game wide open. 2 dragons, a 2,000 gold lead. They're doing damage to the structures as well. Team Liquid suddenly in control.
But they know that it is not game over yet. Armail, you even see in his camera, just kind of readjusting himself because he's like, okay, you know what? That's step one. But the master plan is not fully complete. But as you pointed out, this combo from Ayla, while it gets somewhat stuffed, BMFX stepping up too far forward into Harry cannot get out. Great Charm and the rest of Team Liquid Academy just punishing onto flashless members.
And something we always got to look at is the attention span. Like, where are people looking in the fights? Jimmy 100% was looking towards the bottom side of the fight. Doesn't realize in time that Bradley is annihilating his AD carry. He does 500 damage because he's not able to hit anyone. And that's one of those small spots where all the team cohesion coming out from Team Liquid, because they've been playing together for so long, comes to a head, and now they're looking to contest the Rift Herald.
Tenacity's not there, but neither is Harry. But it's a teleport coming in from Bradley, and they bully them off the Rift Herald. Oh, that is
Harry.
Tragic. Harry, does he find the
BMFX?
angle? Right onto BMFX, still no flash available. Team Liquid, they can close the distance. Nasty steps up, but BMFX is still too far forward. Team Liquid Academy! They are routing off 100 Thieves members, and they're dropping them like flies. Team Liquid, they remember history. They were the ones that were victorious last time, and they are making sure that history repeats itself.
And Team Liquid punished the Flash again! Mark, the big play that they made there in the bottom lane, it felt like nothing, but they get the Flash, they kill him around the Dragon, they kill him around the Rift Herald. BMFX is not able to walk up. They try and make this play, but look, it's still down from the previous time, and while they create so much space, Harry looks for it, he finds the charm, and because he's so far forward, even though Jimin throws out the Emperor's Divide to create space, BMFX can't find safety, they can't build a pocket, and Busio, he's trying to do what he can. He's walking forward to take the damage, but Team Liquid are just too far forward. Will doesn't have the damage, Jimin can't participate in the fight, and it's just a clean wipe from Team Liquid.
And you have to question, were 100 Thieves Academy actually prepared to take that Rift Herald fight? Tenacity wasn't there to be able to supply the disengage with the Call of the Forge God. They're trying to burst it down, it seems like, without Team Liquid knowing, but that punish, it's even more disastrous. And now Team Liquid find themselves 5,000 gold advantage. Game is not over yet, but now it is so difficult for 100 Thieves.
And we kept talking about how the previous Proving Grounds, we always look at the matchup between these two guys, the best of 25 that they're currently playing at this point. But we also have to start looking at the future. Both these teams want to play Cloud9. They're looking for Jimian.
Jimian still has flash, throws out the divide,
Got the
hunts
crowd.
away Ayla, and he is able to shift on out without even having to use his summoner spells. Well played.
There you go. Good stuff coming out from both sides. But 100 Thieves are now pushing towards the mid lane. They already have objective boundaries, and they will be able to pick up the mid lane, opening up the map a little bit more. The wave clear from Azir, the wave clear from Sivir matters a lot more when you have a lot more room to play with. And so 100 Thieves are going to be pushed back. But this is what we're already looking at, right? With Jimian pushed off the turret, they might still be able to pick it up anyway. It's going to be on the second line of turrets where 100 Thieves are going to be making their stand. It's so much faster to move between those structures, and it's so much more difficult to crack them because you actually do have to kill Azir to get those structures.
We are not even 20 minutes into the game yet, Josh, and this advantage that Team Liquid have amassed, getting the second Rift Herald, the first two dragons of the game. We're a minute and a half from the third dragon, and when it comes to importance of Dragon Souls, it's an infernal one for a already snowballing Team Liquid Academy that would not be favored the later the game goes on. You have now increased lethality on champions like Ahri to go forward for the picks and completely blow up either Jimian or BMFX in the next fight.
So we'll start looking at how they'll be able to do that, right? They've done a good job isolating BMFX, but his flash is back up.
I didn't even see he has the BM book.
BM book. Looking at it. There you go, Mark, using the tools that have been given to us. Thank you, Riot. But we'll see how much he can actually do in this. I actually really like the Everfrost as well. He's just trying to lock people down so that more damage can come through from the rest of the team. But remember, Harry, Jan, and Ayla, they've been playing together for 2 years at this point. This is their fourth Proving Grounds as a group. And remember the first Proving Grounds that these guys came to? Buster. Not that.
You know,
O2.
Out of all people, Spawn probably is the one that
Spawn's
does
like,
not
John.
fondly look back on that, falling to Barrage?
Was it
Spring?
Resolve at the time?
No, they weren't resolved yet. They were
Okay, they're
resolved
still
in some-
Barrage.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were still Barrage. 14th seed of the whole Proving Grounds tournament, knocking out Team Liquid Academy.
But ever since then, they've been going so far. They've had deep runs. They're looking to do it again. They are poised. They are on game point. They are in control of this game. And as the next dragon actually spawns, they start moving together yet again. And it goes farther back than that too, right? Harry and Ayla were the two players playing together on order that you kind of saw in the newly duos earlier in the day, where they were so close to finding their way to all these international events. And then they came to NA. They are one game away. They lost 100 Thieves back in summer of 22. One game away from winning another title. And it feels as though they are trying to come back. They want to make sure history never repeats itself.
100 Thieves Academy have managed to somewhat stop the bleeding, because it used to be a 5,000, 6,000 gold advantage for Team Liquid. 100 Thieves are finding incredible amounts of resources for themselves. It's now only down about 4,000, 3,000. It's still a deficit that they're experiencing, but they're relying on this Azir. Oh! Potential pick from Harry. It forces both summoner spells out of BMFX. Harry tries to go back in and catching him off guard. Everfrost does not connect. But that is both summoner spells gone from BMFX, and once again, we go back to 100 Thieves Academy, relying on Wave Flare. Moonlight Vigil does not connect, had the purple gun ready for the root to capitalize, but 100 Thieves dodge out on everything.
They don't quite make it this time, but hey, Mark, BMFX died twice with a splashdown before. Team Liquid were so good at punishing it, and Harry coming over the wall. They were so close yet again. The Moonlight Vigil inches away. But now Team Liquid, they're looking for an opportunity to start creating pressure around this upcoming Dragon, around this upcoming Baron that has been sitting on the map for the past 3 minutes. Team Liquid, again, they have so much control, and as the side lane starts to get better and better for Team Liquid, we're looking a little bit more at Bradley, right? It is one of these players that we have seen a little bit of play from this game, but he's mostly just been playing the supportive role. If he starts creating more pressure on the map, if he starts pulling Tenacity away from the rest of the game, then it makes Harry and Jan and Ayla's job so much easier when they try and burst just one player.
Yep. And Bradley is, to be quite frank, pretty strong already this game. We knew that the top lane was not going to be the focus for this. Once you pick Tenacity Ornn, he is there for the team fight, he is there for the utility and the additional scaling of the rest of the game. So Bradley gets to create pressure, and we don't normally see that much from Fiora in team fights, but man, Bradley excelled at picking off members in that second dragon fight around. And now Bradley's at a point where he can continuously hold Tenacity in the side lane, and it would be up to 100 Thieves to say, hey, Tenacity, you're going to have the bail on that wave. We need you for this fight.
Yep. And you definitely know we have an Ornn player that we play alongside a lot. It's like, I really don't want this wave. I really want to get this experience so I can start building you guys items. He's only level 14.
That's right.
Bradley just needs to hold Tenacity off on the side, even with the more team fighty build that we're seeing coming out from Bradley, going for the Death Dance, the Titanic for the extra HP. He's not necessarily going to, he's not going to be a better team fighter than Ornn, right? Like, that just doesn't happen as the Fiora. And so now Team Liquid, they're setting up in the fog of war, and they're looking for BMFX.
And BMFX, but good spell shield. So they turn their attention onto Busio. Busio, who also doesn't have flash. And even the wild growth is not enough. Our Mayo Harry are able to get out alive despite going through the jungle of 100 Thieves Academy. It is a number of advantage already established by Team Liquid, and they're going to force 100 Thieves to face them at the Baron.
And BMFX still doesn't have flash. He doesn't have the ultimate. He just used it to try and keep people alive. And Team Liquid, they're lining up. The 100 Thieves know that this is actually going on, but look at where Ayla is. He's waiting for them to walk in so he can get the flank.
He knows the target is BMFX or Jimmian. BMFX without flash would be the juiciest one. And as soon as they step onto it, Hayla is getting ready. He has flash to put himself in position. Will finds himself overextended, tries to get in a brute force for them, but Will is taken out by Jan. Ayla doesn't even need to do anything because the rest of Team Liquid, off of the back of Bradley's flanking teleport, catches out the jungler of 100 Thieves Academy.
And that should be the Baron going over. Team Liquid, they're not gun shy around this. They're going to commit. 100 Thieves needs a challenge.
Ayla comes back to goalkeeping duties, keeping 100 Thieves away from the pit. Tenacity still has Call of the Forge God. Charm is used. Do they want to look for the fight? Jimmy turns right onto Ayla and say, okay, maybe we can look for a numbers advantage, but he gets right onto the back line. BMFX is sent into Team Liquid Academy. Tenacity will give his life for the cause, but no one is going down from Team Liquid Academy. And now it's all on Jimmy and Busio. They have to stall time for Will. And it looks like the Baron minion wave will not make its way into the second tier turret, but Team Liquid Academy, they are 45 seconds away from getting the Infernal Soul. Jimmy trying to turn on to Armeo, get an advantage before Will spawns right back on the map. Busio tries to save his mid laner, and they turn right onto Bradley. This could be huge. If they force them off, maybe they can look to deny Infernal Soul for now.
But they had the Baron recalls. Oh, Armeo does manage to get away, but Bradley is going to have to take the long way around. Team Liquid with so much control on the map. Jamien's flash is down. BMFX might have his flash back up for the next fight. Remember, it's only a single kill. You only need to kill one of them for Team Liquid to have enough damage for the rest of the fight. They're already here. Teleports are being expended. 100 Thieves, this is their line in the sand. This fight is for their tournament life.
This is going to be do or die for 100 Thieves. If Infernal Soul is acquired by Team Liquid, it doesn't even matter how many members go down. Team Liquid will have the Baron. They will have multiple members to push for the game end. or have enough pressure. Bradley now on the left flank. 100 Thieves are going to have to pick their targets wisely. Jan and Romeo forcing their hand, burning down the Barons ever so much. And Harry, it's time for Harry to close in through the left flank. Jimian scales on through, and they go for BMFX into the backline once again. They got him. Vigil finds its mark on a BMFX. The Sivver's gone, and 100 Thieves Academy, the jungler's gone. Team Liquid Academy will not even let the series go to Game 5. They will repeat history, but in shorter and more dominant fashion. Game 4 will be theirs as they look to close in onto the Nexus.
Team Liquid breaking the blue side dominance. They find it. They pull apart 100 Thieves. They come in from so many angles, and the turrets are disabled.
Stormbreaker from Armail. He has brought the storm through with Team Liquid Academy. They will take out 100 Thieves through one last push, and Team Liquid begin the gauntlet run as they will advance to the lower bracket finals.
Team Liquid take down the Nemesis. The ending score, 13-11. The number of times these teams have faced each other at this time in the lower bracket semifinals. It is wild that this is not our finals here for Proving Grounds, but Team Liquid, they stand up tall. They remember who they were. They remember the dominance that they had in Summer Split. They are pushing forward. They're going to play Cloud9 tomorrow.
Heartbreak from the side of 100 Thieves Academy. They knew how important it was. And if you're a fan, whether you are for Team Liquid or 100 Thieves,
you see,
you go back to that Game 3, and I think that was what did them in. That was their game to win. They had so much pressure, but it was one clutch decision from the side of Team Liquid Academy to close on in, to seize their moment.
You see, as they start coming through, members of 100 Thieves still just kind of in shock, is what it looks like, right? Team Liquid, they feel so relieved. Game 3, as you called out, just the one single fight that turned around, that mentally built up Team Liquid, but broke 100 Thieves, and now you get to see them. These guys have a long road ahead of them if they want to try and defend their title, but it's one step at a time, one game at a time, and they find 3 today.
And if you are going to take inspiration from any team to make that gauntlet run, it is the team that they just beat in 100 Thieves Academy. When we saw 100 Thieves make the gauntlet run in last split, they tore through Immortals. They found their way against Golden Guardians Academy as well. And it was, we cannot reiterate this enough, it was so close between them in spring split. But Team Liquid Academy are able to face part of their demons and being able to rematch against 100 Thieves Academy. They deny the repeat Summer Proving Grounds victory from 100 Thieves. And now they are on their way to make that gauntlet run. And for Cloud9 Academy and Dignitas Academy watching this series as well, they know that they might be facing against the most powerful form of Team Liquid Academy yet.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions about Team Liquid the past couple of weeks. They nearly got perfect gamed by Evil Geniuses. They fell down to Dignitas Academy in the upper half of the bracket. But we didn't see that today. This is the Team Liquid returning to form, and they have been terrifying this entire summer.
And if we had to center on one person that really stepped up in an unexpected way, I think my eyes are onto Bradley. Because remember, this is the guy that he was a rookie in their spring split finish win against 100 Thieves, and Bradley himself felt that he was getting outclassed by Gamsu in some of those games. And while for him, Gamsu is still waiting at the end of the road if they are able to best Cloud9 Academy tomorrow. He also has to go through Darshan, but Bradley has been showing really impressive performances when he's, whether he's on weak side or being given resources. I think of the Akali game in game 1, the Fiora in this last game as well. It's just, Bradley is really making a case for himself that, remember, this was a mid laner last year for Wildcard and Bethany. And role swapping the top laner, now he's looking like, he bested the best top laner in Academy now. Bradley's going to try to make a push for it.
That's the thing about Team Liquid that is so scary, is there's no longer a weak link on this team, right? It was Bradley for a little while, we'll admit that, but he is, again, if he's the second best top laner, they have been so strong this entire time. Every single one of them stepped up, and they will need to continue doing that for the rest of Proving Grounds.
For Team Liquid Academy, congratulations on making it to the next round, but they know that the road is not over yet. For us, it is done on the caster desk, but we have a special guest. You may have already seen them on the desk, who will be interviewing Team Liquid Academy on stage with Ayla in our Verizon post-game interview. It's Joey, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, Joey here with Ayla after a victorious best of 5 versus 100 Thieves. This was the best of 5 of best of 5, so how's it feel to finally, say you guys are better than 100 Thieves?
Yeah, I think our rivalry against 100 Thieves definitely developed a lot this year. We did not expect them, or we did not expect to face them last Proving Grounds in finals, so I think they're a really good team. There's a lot of drama, or not drama, hype between me and Buso and who will get MVP, so I've been spicing it off. I'm really competitive, so I want to beat 100 Thieves, and yeah, I think I'm really happy today, to be honest, to beat 100 Thieves and just show how good we are.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you know, Busio did win MVP, and you did get 2nd place. Do you have anything to say about that to like the broadcast or to Busio?
Yeah, I'd say congrats to Busio. I think he's really good. Really fun to verse him. I think he pushes me a lot in just games in general, and to be honest, that's what I want. I want competition. I didn't want Academy to be like a breeze, so props to him for winning MVP. I'm a bit disappointed, but at least I beat him.
Okay, and then tomorrow you play versus Destiny, a opponent you've played a lot in OS and in NAs from time to time. Are you excited to play versus tomorrow? How do you think it's going to go?
Let me just say, if you guys see scrims, we might stomp them.
Oh, so you're saying it's going to be a big ball gap tomorrow or what?
There might be a big bot gap, yeah.
Okay. Sounds pretty hype. I wanted to ask you something quickly as well. You've been working on TLA for 2 years. I wanted to ask you, how does it feel to babysit Jan for 2 years?
To be honest, it's fun. Jan when he Jan when he just started was like fresh baller mechanics, but a bit clueless. So it's been fun watching him grow. I think now he's like my equal. He really pushes me to improve. He tests my mechanics, makes sure I play well, and I think over the years we've just improved a lot, and now we're the best bot lane in Academy.
And going into losers bracket, have you guys felt like that has helped you guys improve in practice since losing to, I forgot who, but Dignitas.
Yeah, I think losing to Dig was a very good wake-up call for us. I think we're kind of breezing through and not really taking practice seriously. So I think being able to take that loss and go to losers bracket, even though it's very stressful, I think it was very necessary. And I think because we lost to Dig today, or last time, we're gonna go all the way and beat them in finals again.
Glad to hear it. Today, Lulu was picked 4 times in the series. It also lost 4 times in the series. I don't know if you know this. What do you think of the champion overall?
I think Lulu's a decent champ, very good at buffing, and I think after Yumi's out, she's the best enchanter by far. I just think I'm very confident on both sides, and I think being able to punish for Lulu, like picking a tank engage support and punishing it is it's a very good strategy, and I think in the series it showed that whoever had the tank support usually won, because the Lulu could just not survive the engage.
And in the last moments of that game, you landed a really good combo onto BMFX. What was the comms going on during that Baron?
We knew they had no flash. It's like kind of checkmate situation. You know, if we come from flanks, they don't have flash, I flash. There's kind of no way for them to play it. So, yeah, we knew all the time we're going to turn, just wait for the right moment to bait them in. And, yeah, they stepped too far forward, so I punished them.
Sounds pretty good. I think that's kind of all the questions I have. But going back to the casters, thank you guys. Thank you. Congrats on the win, and good luck tomorrow in the rest of Proving Grounds.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Proving Grounds desk, powered by Verizon. I'm here with Triple to close out the show, waiting on Joey, I believe, to come join us as well. But a 3-1 victory for Team Liquid Honda Academy. I was right, just saying, and put the crown on my head. But,
you did 3-1?
I did do 3-1.
Okay, well, congratulations.
I know, give myself a little clap. No, but seriously, it was an incredible series. 100 Thieves, I know you were saying before we came on, right? It was a very, very close last game, and there were moments where 100 Thieves could have won.
Yeah, no, Team Liquid finally broke the curse.
It's
3-1 finally after 5 best of 5.
This would be the 5th.
Yeah, but it was really back and forth. I think that third game really broke the momentum for 100 Thieves. I will say, like, emotions, I don't know how it was going on, like, within the teams, but from an outsider perspective, it kind of felt like, you know, momentum was like a big part of the series from just that game 1 and being able to bounce back. leading into the game 3, which they were doing pretty well, and then they fumbled it, right?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of teams mentally can't recover. I don't know if that's the reason why they lost, but yeah, it sucks.
I think one thing for me that stood out is last split, getting to talk to Spawn a little bit. He actually was like, I don't know what it is. It's just the mentality thing. We get so high on a win that afterwards it's a little hard to kind of hone back in to win a second game. That's why they get these back and forth series. But here, kind of making good on that, right? Like closing out those 2 games, being able to finish the job at least. And now, as you were saying, momentum going into the rest of Proving Grounds.
Yeah, for sure. Spawn's kind of just flexing about suffering from success, isn't he? Like,
Right?
damn, we just win too much.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
But yeah, no, this was definitely a closer series than the score actually says as well.
Yeah.
And I think they're just, like, the rest of the run should be, I'm not going to say easy, but like it's going to be comfortable for them, right? Going to tomorrow, Isla's playing against Destiny like a million times as well. He's pretty confident, as you can tell from the interview. So I think tomorrow will be close. I think the day after will be close as well.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I love the confidence from as well in the end there. I do have Joey back with me, I believe, so thank you for the interviews and stuff. Just get your thoughts generally about this last game of the series.
I'm really glad to see TL not break the streak. You know, they didn't end in 5, they did it in 4, and I thought they played really well in this last game. I hope they'll carry the momentum into tomorrow, and I think that whoever won today, because of just how the format is in Academy, like being able to play on stage and get that extra experience the day after and day after, I think it's really favored that TL are going to win the whole thing.
It's going to be interesting as well, because next up on the docket is Cloud9 Academy. We actually got to hear from the bot laner, King, on potentially looking at that matchup. Oh, apparently not. Apparently we do not have it. What would you say in King's position here, Triple? What would you say?
Yeah, well, I think King should take a lot of confidence going into tomorrow's series too, just because of the history he's had. Because it's all OS players, right?
Yeah.
And historically, he has dominated OS. And even when I was on a team with him, we did beat Isla, I think, a couple of times. So just taking that account, I think he will have like a mental edge, maybe. I'm not sure, but he's just going to be really confident going into it.
He was very confident. We got to hear from him on Media Day the other
Oh,
day.
is he?
He was like,
Okay.
I'm still the best. I'm still one of the greatest. Like, I love it. Joey, going into that matchup as well.
I think it's going to be one of those another matchups. I just think the rest of this Proving Ground is going to be a bot gap. Like whoever has the better bot lane playing on the day, I think they're just going to be the ones who win the series. Whoever's better at team fighting, whoever controls the picks better in draft. And I think TL just did that better today. And I think that's probably what's going to happen as well tomorrow.
We actually did get the King talk, so let's hear what he had to say now.
Past few Proving Grounds, I've sort of realized like I've learned a lot about like each time we each time we failed right to win the whole thing. Like I've learned like mistakes we made, and I think this time it's like it's a culmination of like I've broken through those barriers and now like we're finally here, like back again, and yeah, I mean I think I feel really good about like my learning for the past 3 splits.
One of the biggest things for me that King said to us and on one of the interviews was he's never felt like he's been a worse player than he was before. And I think that's really interesting to think about, but especially because Team Liquid Honda will be back tomorrow to play against Cloud9 Academy. And I want to zone in a little bit more on Cloud9 Academy and their strengths, Triple, if you have anything to show.
Honestly, I think they're very similar to Team Liquid in the fact that they play the game very organically, fundamentally, as my coaches like to say. They don't really make that many mistakes, and against like newer teams like 100 Thieves today, you do see like kind of cracks in their, team play.
Yeah.
But these 2 teams won't see that, so yeah, it might just come down to like whoever gets the early game lead or whoever out team fights who, right?
The bot gap, maybe.
Maybe a bot gap or something. Yeah. I mean, I do think bot lane's OP because you can farm 2 people instead of 1.
And visit mid lane for a third if you want to,
That too, I didn't want to say it.
I didn't want to say that one.
Yeah.
You're the third camp for the support.
Quite literally every game.
Joey, any thoughts about Cloud9 Academy, their strengths?
I think it's not really going to be that much different for TL today. I don't think Cloud9 is going to be that different of a team than 100 Thieves was. There's a rookie jungler, there's a veteran mid laner, it's a good solid bot lane, and a good solid top laner. So I don't think TL has to really like change up what they did too much today. I think if they just go in tomorrow with the same game plan that they had today, I think they're going to do pretty well.
Hey, we'll have to find out tomorrow, won't we? I do want to give one last little shout out to you guys. Joey, thank you so much for joining us on the desk. You're an absolute pleasure. Where can we find you? What's your Twitter? Let's go ahead and throw it up
Follow
there.
me on Twitch, or twitter.com/theairsjai or twitch.tv/joeylol. I stream sometimes. Appreciate everybody for the support.
Love it. Thank you so much, Joey. And Triple, always a pleasure, man. Good chat with you. Glad you could join us on the desk. Where can we find you?
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun today. Thanks for having me. You can find me at twitter.com/tripleoce or the same thing, but on Twitch. I'm actually streaming like every day these days, so check it out.
Go check out these guys. They are incredible and love to have them on the broadcast. But that's going to do it from us here and from me for Proving Grounds. This is my final day, a little bit sad. The show returns tomorrow, same time, same place. Kangas on the desk. Can't wait to see his face. And I hope you are just as excited. Until then, we'll see you next time on Summoner's Rift.